Had a biopsy last week. Boyfriend is angry I can't be intimate. Throwaway cuz I use my real name on my main. Please don't share my story anywhere. TW. Rape and medical problems. I, 22 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 28 male, for 6 months. We only fought once during that time and I would normally call my relationship healthy. He's usually very sweet and affectionate, so this problem is really hard for me cause I've never seen him like this. We see each other at least 2 days a week and usually have sex. Recently my sister was diagnosed with cancer in het uterus. I don't know the name in English, so this is the best way to explain it. As a result they have to remove the uterus and I decided to get a pap smear since I've been experiencing the same symptoms the past year. I'm bleeding every week and as a result I always feel weak. When I got the results back my doctor immediately sent me to the gynecologist to get a biopsy and now I'm waiting for the results I get on the 13th of July. They took about 7 worrisome pieces to get examined. To make sure it heals correctly I'm not allowed to have sex or take baths or even put tampons for at least 6 weeks. This was last Monday and last Wednesday was my birthday. My boyfriend knew I wasn't allowed to do these things since we discussed it and he understood what I told him. Me and my boyfriend have always talked about having great birthday sex with candlelights and champagne and we were both very excited about that idea. Unfortunately since I found out I had to have the biopsy we knew that wasn't possible and he knew we couldn't be intimate for a few weeks. At first he was okay with that but that seems changed. For my birthday he booked us a nice hotel and dinner and he gave me some beautiful flowers. I was extremely grateful and at first we had a really great time exploring the hotel and the city it was in. Around the time we went to the room we turned on the TV to watch soccer together and he went to the bathroom. After the game he said I have a surprise for you in the bathroom so I went to see what it was and it was a bath with rose petals in it. I thanked him but said that I wasn't allowed to take baths but I can put my legs in it and cuddle him from the back. He started to look hurt and I reassured him that I appreciate the gesture but explained to him that I didn't want to risk getting a bleed or infection and he said he understood. We eventually found a way to enjoy the bath by him laying in it and me giving him a massage and kisses while I sat on the bathtub. After the bath we cuddled in bed and listened to music together. While we were cuddling he was grinding his dicks against me and that was fine with me but then he tried to take my pants off to enter inside of me. I stopped him and got a little irritated cause I reminded him less than an hour ago that it is risky for my health and wasn't allowed to do that. As a result I raised my voice and asked him is his pleasure really worth my health? I felt bad immediately and told him I could always give him a BJ but he just turned around and turned the lights off and went to sleep. I wasn't allowed to touch him anymore so I went to sleep too and woke up to him grinding on me again. I was raped by my ex while I was asleep and I have PTSD from this and as a result I get panic attacks when someone touches me in my sleep. He knows this and said that he will never do this to me. I immediately get up and start hyperventilating and breaking down. He started screaming at me that I shouldn't act like a child and that he would never rape me like my ex did. He called me ungrateful and that I wasn't bleeding that much. I wear pads cause I'm still losing blood, and it wasn't a big deal. Instead of comforting me he just went to his side of the bed and went back to sleep. I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. The next morning he apologized because he realized that what he did wasn't okay and we made up. I gave him a BJ and cuddled up to him. The rest of the stay was nice and we didn't have any problems and I thought that he finally understood. We went back to his house and we were back to normal. He was very loving and caring and even gave me something to help with my cramps. We just enjoyed our time by cuddling on the couch but since we were both exhausted we went to bed early. He again started to be very touchy and tried to get in my pants and I pushed him away. Then he grabbed my stomach and pushed me backwards and I cramped so bad that I started crying. I explained that it's really painful and he got mad and asked so I'm not even allowed to touch you now? Before I got the chance to answer he got up and went to sleep in another room. This morning he ignored my presence until it was time for me to go. He told me he's leaving now and if I wanted a ride to the station I have to come now. So I did and we sat in silence. When we arrived he told me that he couldn't make it next week so we can't see each other. I asked him why and he said that he has better things to do than being with someone who refuses to be intimate with him. We argued for a bit until he screamed that I should get out of his car. As soon as I got my things he drove off and is ignoring my texts since then. I just don't understand why he changed overnight to this person I don't recognize. We didn't have sex but I did give him BJs and cuddled and kissed him. Is sex really so important that I should risk infections? This happened from Monday to this morning, so I apologize if it isn't very clear. I'm still very upset. We saw each other last week before the biopsy and had sex, so it isn't that he didn't have it recently. What can I do to get through him and why it is dangerous? Too long did not read. Had a biopsy last Monday and boyfriend surprised me with a hotel stay for my birthday from Tuesday till Thursday. I'm not allowed to have sex and he got mad. It's been 6 months. Your relationship is new. Do you think creeps, abusers, and rapists start acting that way on the first date? Of course not. They act super sweet and lure you in so that when they start doing questionable things you give them the benefit of the doubt. That's what's happening here. You need to leave him, for your safety. His priority is clearly his wants, his feelings and his dick. When, at a time like this, his priority should be your health and nothing else. He was physically and verbally aggressive. Sorry, but he's shown his true colors. Walk away. He is showing his true colors now. There is something wrong. Up to now you've given him sex whenever he wants it, so he's been sweet as pie. Now you can't. The true selfish child is showing up. This is what he will be like whenever you can't satisfy him. Just had a baby? Hell no. If he can't fuck you, he'll either sulk or go find it elsewhere. And he will justify it by saying you owe it to him. He thinks your body is his to use whenever he gets horny. That's what he thinks of you. He won't change. Lucky it's only been 6 months for him to start showing you the selfish entitled side of him, not 6 years. I couldn't read past the point where he screamed at you for having a panic attack, and honestly, it's probably already more than enough. Don't stay with this posse. He doesn't respect you at all. He doesn't care about your health. He doesn't care about your boundaries. He passive-aggressively guilt trips you. He sounds awful and there's nothing that excuses his behavior. Like, you didn't get your dick wet because your girlfriend has a very important appointment that forbids her to have intercourse? Boo fucking who. Get over it and stop being trash. I am sorry for being so salty, but just know. Your boyfriend is manipulative, selfish ASF, and you need to leave him. It sounds like your relationship has only been good because he's been getting what he wants, and now that he can't, you see his true side. His apology was not sincere. He only apologized as a way to get into your pants, and when that didn't work, he became abusive again. He said that he has better things to do than being with someone who refuses to be intimate with him. Take him for his words here. He's telling you that your medical problems mean absolutely nothing to him if it's an inconvenience to him. Notice he pins it down on you not wanting to have sex and not that you have issues making you unable to. It'll get much worse than this year's if you stay. He was on good behavior for 6 months because you never said no to him before. Now you know. Now he behaves when he can't get his way. This is the real person. It's not about getting through to him about the danger. He knows it's unsafe for you to have sex or take a bath, he just doesn't care. He doesn't care. Ask yourself if this is how you want your life to be. Leave him. He sexually assaulted you and started screaming at you when you panicked about it. He can't go several weeks without getting his rocks off before he starts abusing you, even if the reason is a serious medical issue. He literally cares more about controlling you and hurting you than he does about your mental and physical health. This isn't immaturity, it's just legitimate evil. A supportive partner would be worried sick about your results and offering to do anything they could to make your recovery easier. Please find someone who will behave the way you deserve, and don't fall into the cycle of abuse with this piece of shit. Girlfriend had her friend do a loyalty test on me. So about 2 or so days ago I got a random DM on Instagram from some girl I have never met asking me to accept her DM because she wants to talk to me. The timing of this text was very interesting because I had spent all day hearing my girlfriend tell me that she isn't my type, and that I don't like her. Neither of these are true, and I've tried my best to reassure her, but somehow her insecurities are my problem to solve. I responded to this DM with, "Do you need something?" I knew right away that this girl was sent by my girlfriend from how unusual this event was. I wrote in my notes that I knew she was trying to set me up and that this says a lot about who she is. I say nothing to my girlfriend and go on with my day and go to work. While at work I was on my break and sure enough this girl in my DMs had responded. "I just think you're attractive," is what she said. So I had written, "Thank you, I actually have a girlfriend though, so I'm not looking for anything. I have a cute friend that you might like, I could send you his handle." At this point I wasn't 100% sure that my girlfriend was setting me up, and I have a friend who recently became single, so I decided to try and put him on. At this point I left work and returned home and called my girlfriend. I told her I had a question for her and wanted her to answer honestly, and she said okay. I then proceeded to send her a screenshot of my notes, and she had no words. She then told me she was leaving to go out to eat with her family and hung up the call. I knew that my suspicion was correct, and she admitted to setting me up to see how I would react, and also said that it was wrong and she didn't expect me to forgive her. I responded with "I don't know what to say," turned my phone on Do Not Disturb, and went ghost for about 4 hours. I came to the point to where I was ready to talk to her, and I asked her where she got such a stupid idea from. I also told her that it was entrapment and manipulation. Personally, one thing I don't like is feeling like a pawn in someone else's chess game. She degraded me the rest of the night and basically made me feel like it was my fault. She brought up how I texted my ex when her dad had gotten cancer for the second time. She also told me that I made her feel like she's not enough because I looked at one of my neighbors walking into her house. I ended up apologizing even though I don't know what I did wrong. I don't feel resolved, and I'm not sure what conversation to have or what action to take. Your first mistake was apologizing. Your second was not sending her packing. Your girlfriend sounds like a manipulative person. She also told me that I made her feel like she's not enough because I looked at one of my neighbors walking into her house. She is going to be a constant source of resentment and bad feelings. Personally, I have no patience for people who play games like this. If you do, then continue with her because the chances are she will continue to play them. She's a mess and a drama queen. End it. Dude. Run. I am not saying that she is a bad person. But I will say that she is not relationship material. She obviously has a lot of insecurities, and girls like this tend to be obsessive and sometimes controlling. So if marriage is thought, never let that happen. Because her true nature will come out once you are tied down. She will suspect everything you do and everyone you meet. Sorry to say it, but you have to let her go. Otherwise, you will have a non-stop stressed out rest of your life. Well, you're obviously fine with all this since you're still in it. I would have sent her packing, especially after the rest of that evening. How old are you? Hint. If you are over 17, you are too old for this shit and should behave accordingly and set your crazy girlfriend free. Dump her. This is a very awful move on her part. That's the kind of tricks you see in TV shows, but I can't think of a good reason to ever use them in real life. She breached your trust, so now it's up to you to discuss it with her and see if you can rebuild it or not. It's also manipulative of her to try to blame this on you, when it clearly stems from her own insecurities and the fact that she is going through a tough time. Did she even apologize? Does this kind of things, turning things around, guilt-tripping you into apologizing even though you are not at fault, happens often? If so, you might need to reconsider if this relationship is healthy for you or not. Good luck. My 22F boyfriend 24M still did it even when I said no. Where do I go from here? I've been with my boyfriend since December 2018. Before him I had little experience with guys and I was still a virgin. On June 14, he came over to my house. I told him no, I don't want to have sex, and explained that I ran out of my birth control. It's just not affordable or accessible to me, and it's taking me a little longer to get it. He then tried to do something else, but it hurt me too much. Then, he just seemed to get annoyed and then he grabbed me and had sex. I was just frozen and he withdrew and finished somewhere else away from me. After that I ran to the other room and tried to wipe myself. The next 3 times I've seen him I continued to say no. I said, why can't we just hug or kiss? And he said, I'm not the guy for that. Also he said, I said no the last 4 times, and, should he just give up on me? Yesterday that day hit me and I started crying and reached out to an organization for someone to hear me. I have taken 2 Plan Bs since then because I'm scared his withdrawal that day failed or something. It would be my biggest nightmare in life to get pregnant with him. Also, I've been taking boric acid suppositories and an antibiotic because I was diagnosed with an STD, which I think he gave me since I was a virgin before him. My period is 3 days away and I hope I get it. Where do I go from here? I have always felt manipulated and coerced, and this is just too much. I said no and he did it anyways. I have been so loyal, he's literally the only guy in my phone. I'm pretty sure he's cheating on me now since I say no and he's been acting distant. Where do I go from here and what advice would you give to me? Too long did not read. My boyfriend had sex with me after I said no and now I fear so many things. Where do I go from here and what would you do if you were me? Update. I read all the comments and want to say thank you. I will keep all your words close to my heart. I am making the choice to block him everywhere and make sure I'm not pregnant, have his STD. I don't want to be involved with anything legal because I am graduating college this coming December and want to apply to law school. Also, he is an illegal immigrant here and has a tether on his ankle. I feel that he will be deported if I went to authorities. I'm not sure that would help me, also it would only keep me in pain. I will heal and want him out of my life for good. Thank you everyone. That's rape. Cut this person out of your life permanently. He's raped you. Repeatedly. Without even caring in the slightest. This guy is dangerous. Go to the police immediately. Go to hospital and get STD check and rape kit done. Edit. If he's an illegal immigrant, then him getting deported is what he deserves. He's using you to try and not be deported. He raped you. File a police report. Update. You're studying law school, but you're with an illegal immigrant and letting him get away with rape. What? You were raped. Please stop talking, seeing, entertaining this scumbag. Run away and please report him. Run. Now. Sex without consent is rape. He is not your BF, not your partner, he does not respect you, he's your abuser. Whether you choose to report him or not is on you, but either way, run. You're not living together, you're not financially connected, you have no ties to this man at all. There is nothing keeping you with him. Run. He raped you and he definitely is cheating. Report him and leave him. He doesn't deserve you or your loyalty. Leave before he hurts you more. Cut all contact. Maybe talk to authorities as well. This guy sounds absolutely horrible and like a sexual deviant. One word. Leave. Please help. Honest advice needed. Hi everyone, I need help on forgiving my boyfriend. Before anyone else sees this, I want to state again that I am not looking to leave. I am looking for advice on how to move past this. I am giving details to the situation to better understand what level my pain is at. I'm trying to heal over the things he's done and I'm finding it so hard. I know it's one day at a time, but I am really struggling and feel alone. So basically, he sent a dick pic to a premium Snapchat girl and then has been paying for nudes on Reddit and commenting, and personally messaging these girls to tell them how sexy they are or if he can see more. Saying things like, I want you on my face, or, I want to eat you out, things like that. Every time I think about it, I get deeply insecure, angry, sad, anxious. He was also talking to some girl from his job who he made a comment on her body about with another coworker, and he was keeping a snap score with her and told me it was because he liked the attention because nobody talks to him except me. He also had a customer at his job. He does sales, who he apparently thought had a nice body, and he went so far as to looking her up on Facebook to find her Instagram to look at her. I'm so broken. It's been a month now since I found out. I still can't seem to heal. Everything triggers me and my heart hurts. We had a deep conversation and he realized things he needs to be better with, so we are on a no-contact break. I really do love him and I don't believe he is a bad guy, but I am finding it to be such a struggle to not be angry or move past this. All I want is for things to feel normal again. I don't feel normal, I feel absolutely heartbroken, but all I want to do is move on from it and come back from our break as a unified couple. I just don't know how if I constantly feel this way. But I truly want us to be together and move past this, please help. Honest advice? This sub is filled with posts like yours. Op says, I love him but, and everything after, but, is pretty bad. Forgiveness doesn't just happen, it's something one has to work towards giving someone else. I would suggest you seriously consider therapy to help work through your grief and anger and pain over all this, which is perfectly valid. Please note you can also strive to forgive him, over time, and break up with him too if that's what you need to do. If something made me consider going on a no-contact break with a person I considered a partner, I would most likely make that break permanent. Again, a therapist could help you sort through thoughts and feelings. Good luck, Orange Heart. If you're feeling the way you are about this, you should probably think about leaving the relationship. This isn't a healthy partnership, and you feeling as broken as you are feeling isn't good on your mental health. If you're having second thoughts, maybe even write a pros and cons list of staying versus leaving. All the luck to you. I am so sorry, sweetheart. But this is not a way you treat someone if you love them. I think you'd be constantly worried about what he is doing. Even if you did forgive him, try move past it. It sounds like he has an unhealthy view of sex and relationships. You deserve better. If he realized he needs to be better, why are you guys on a no-contact break? You feel insecure, and I reckon you also have lost trust in him. Do you think once no-contact break is over, you can trust him again? I think it's over, and you should move on. Find someone who respects the relationship with you and who you can trust. Honest advice here, It sounds like you're on a no-contact break so he can continue cheating on you guilt-free. This relationship is not healthy at all. Please seek professional help. Real talk, you're on a no-contact break. Do you really think he's not doing all of those things with other girls right now? He has a significant history of going out of his way to creep on other women. He knew it wasn't appropriate, he knew it was wrong, and when he got busted he said he knew he needed to do better, and went on a no-contact break? Girl, no. He's not learning a thing. Honest advice? Realize you deserve better and move on. What is he doing to make this right? Is he putting any real effort in to change his shitty behavior? Honestly, if you're going to willingly encourage people disrespecting you, they'll always disrespect you. You've basically told your boyfriend, "Hey, I'm a doormat. I'll always stay with you no matter what. Don't bother respecting me, Sue." Honest advice if you actually want to stay with him? Get therapy. Fix whatever in you needs to be fixed so you understand his behavior isn't acceptable.